Hello and welcome to this video. I'm going to be talking during this video about what? I don't know yet. There's a bee. Oh my god. It was actually a wasp, and things like that wouldn't normally scare me, but literally last week I got stung by a wasp because the crack in my car window was open, literally just a crack, and a wasp flew in, stung me on the chest, and we knew it was a wasp because it was like under the handbrake, and I got a really big fright from it. It's like, of course I would, like I got a fright and started screaming. I was like, Mommy, something bit me. I just can't stand wasps. I was sitting on my desk this morning and one flew over to me and started buzzing next to my ear. Like I thought it was like a lawnmower at first, and I was like, oh, like it's raining outside. That's really weird. Like why is someone mowing their lawn when it's raining? And then I felt the fucking wind next to my ear, and I was like, excuse me, sir, like go away. And then I looked around, and there was like 3 or 4 in my room. So I'm sitting in the corner of my room, like looking out for all the wasps while I record this voiceover. So please don't get mad at me if there's like breaks, so that I can run away from a wasp. So anyway, this art is inspired by, I think it's HTTPS Pink Clouds on Instagram. She hosted a mood board contest, and the idea is she posted, I think, 4 mood boards, and you had to pick between the 4, just pick one that you liked. This is the one that I liked. I'll put it up on the screen. And originally I was going to do a character. I really wanted to make a character because that's what I do. I draw pretty girls. But I decided to do this like picnic overlay because that's something I've started doing recently, is drawing scenes and like situations and like overheads, because I really enjoyed animating them. I think like I love the vibes. I've always loved when I've seen other artists doing that, like drawing a desk and there's like so much detail in it. Or like the next thing that I've drawn is like a girl sitting at a bookshelf, and there was like so much detail in the books. I just love drawing that kind of stuff, and it's a really nice in between of like I get to draw pretty girls and I get to draw stuff like this and just like improve other skills as an artist. Like I'm not just drawing the one thing. I really enjoy taking the time to draw these as well, because they take me a little bit longer, I think, than a portrait would. I think that's because for a portrait you're using a reference a lot of the time. It's kind of just muscle memory, but drawing something like this is new to me, and I didn't use a single reference for this. Like I pretty much used the mood board exclusively for the reference. I kind of just made it all up. That's why the perspective is a little bit wonky. That's why I'm not calling this a tutorial. I'm kind of just considering this a draw with me, where I kind of chit chat with this. But I had a lot of fun coming up with the concept, because I could picture it in my head, all the butterflies flying around and the lily pads in the, and it's like it's nice. It's the vibes. They're there. So I kind of talked over the whole sketching and line art process, but it didn't take that long for me to sketch and line art. Like the line art probably took the longest, but I was really in the mood of making art that day. I don't know if that makes sense. Like there's some days where making art is really difficult and everything I make turns out like shit. But then there's other days where everything I make is just my magnum opus. It's like some days are just better than others, and today was a good day, so I was able to bang out this stuff pretty quickly, which I was happy with. Like, look how cute the little strawberries are. I just love the strawberries must be, and the snail are like my 2 favorite parts of this, I think. And then I added in oranges, but they look kind of the same as the strawberries because I didn't make the colors different enough. In terms of color scheme, I really like pinky stuff. But for me, you're gonna see I normally put I just create my own filter using the overlay layer. So it kind of, as long as your colors are, like I focus on tone when I'm doing the flat colors, and making sure like the colors are nice and spread out throughout the whole scene, so that when I put that was my cat. So anyway, as long as your colours are spread out across the whole canvas, so the green is evenly spread out. There's a little bit of green everywhere in the strawberries, in the grass, in the lily pads. The red is in the mushrooms, and it's nice, it's even. That means that when you put your overlay layer on it, she is still playing with the cardboard box. So when you put the overlay layer over colours that are already evenly spread out, it kind of just makes everything blend in together, since I don't know how to describe it. I'm not good at this kind of thing. It's like all of the colours blend together because you've used the same filter over everything. So you're going to see that the shading is pretty minimal because I focus a lot on the hard shadows, which you're going to see. I kind of just add in a little bit of gradation with the colours. The most important part is the shadows, which you're going to see now in just a minute or two. I really struggled with the grass because I saw the texture that I wanted in my head, and I was really struggling to get that texture once I started drawing it, because I didn't want the grass to look luminous either, so putting in those little highlighted pieces kind of worried me. And here I started redrawing the blanket because I wasn't happy with the pattern on it. I kind of pictured gingham, but I'm not really good at drawing that, and I wasn't using a reference for it, and it shows. So anyway, here I'm starting the hard shadows, and I pictured the sun coming from the back left, if that makes sense. So I was drawing in the shadows like that, and some of them are a bit wonky because, as I said, I was not using a reference, so I kind of just made it up, and I'm hoping it works. I'm not sure if it does because I have no idea what this scene would have actually looked like if the sun was there, but I did my best to do it. Like, shadows aren't really my strong suit, I guess, but I do think they're one of the most important parts of an illustration, so I did spend my time at this to make sure all of the shadows looked well. That was my phone. Sorry, I'm so bad at this. The water was a bit difficult. It kind of took me, I kind of left the lily pads to last because I couldn't really figure out what they're supposed to look like. And here I'm adding in, I completely eyeballed this. I wanted it to look like there was a tree covering the picnic. And I don't know if that got across, but that's what I was going for. And up here I decided to redraw. I think there was a gnome there, and I decided to redraw it because I thought it looked really boring. So I decided to put in a rock and a little fairy door, because I thought that matched the mood board a little bit better as well. And I also added in a few extra mushrooms. I just copy and pasted because I wasn't arsed at this point redrawing them. So yeah, here's the little fairy door. I love fairy doors, and I love like fairy gardens. I love fairy like folklore as well. Like, I just think it's so cute. And I like respect the fairies, guys. Like, honestly, if you get on their bad side, that's on you. Like, I don't know if many of you know the fairy folklore, but it's basically if you see a tree in the middle of a garden or in the middle of a field, there's nothing else around, that's a fairy tree. And fairies are very territorial. You don't want to disrespect them. If you don't disrespect them, they won't disrespect you. So that's kind of the fairy. That's a very, very brief rundown of fairy folklore. So yeah, I had the shadows done, which is honestly one of the most important parts, and I was kind of just adding in finishing touches. I used a bright orange and overlay to colour in the edges of the shadow to make it look like there was a shining sun there. I also added in some sparkles because I love adding sparkles. I did my little overlay filter to blend all of the colours together and set the mood of the piece, and that was pretty much it. That's the end of the drawing. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Bye!